Mike Sprague. I'm the pastor at Scio Baptist Church in Scio, Oregon. This is my covenant community story. Started attending Scio Baptist in Portland, Oregon in high school. A friend had invited me repeatedly and started attending there, and it was there that I had a couple different leaders, in particular a Sunday school teacher who really started to invest in me, Lynn Lundquist, and in that process ended up going to Camp Tadmor. I had gone to church for about a year up to that point, and at least the better part of a school year, and ended up at Tadmor thinking I was walking into a place where I was just like everybody else, but I realized there was something missing in my life. That was Christ, and that's where I accepted Christ, on the fishing dock there at Tadmor. Of course, that's where I met Doug West. Doug's probably the most instrumental man in my life in terms of my walk with Christ, and invested in me in a lot of different ways, actually even leading up to my first year on staff. Spent 3 summers, full-time summers with Doug, Rick, and Steve up there, all 3 of them really just, again, pouring into my life, not just during the summer, but throughout the year as well. Those 3 guys, the way that they would pour into me, taught me really my entire work ethic up to that point. It didn't exist until those guys came into my life. Doug was a constant example to me of what it meant to live out the gospel, to live out relationship with the campers and the staff. He caused me to stop and think about the things that I was doing, why I was doing them. With Rick and Steve, those 2 guys, they taught me work ethic on the other side of the scope with my hands. And there was a point where I guess probably would have went through life with soft hands, but they taught me what it meant to work and to sweat and to and I would say to not miss the details. Doug was very instrumental in my first church, getting to my first church. In fact, it was down in his old backyard down on the southern Oregon coast, and that went a long way. That he believed in me enough to not just recommend me to the church that I went down there to Langlois Community Church with Rick House, but he initiated phone calls and really pushed for me, and then also pushed me to make sure I was ready for it. I ended up meeting Luke Hendricks for the first time, and again, Luke was, I'd come up some serious ministry difficulties, and Luke walked with me through those steps to help me see what it is that God really wanted out of the situation, and not just what I might have wanted. Just again, pouring into me, investing into my ministry in a way that no book was going to give me. That there wasn't a simple A, B, and C. That it had to be somebody who walked that path before me, and Luke was one of those guys who did that and got me through a difficult time in ministry, and got me through some joyful times in ministry, and reminded me of that. I guess to say that he really is the one probably who introduced even the idea of what it meant to live in community or covenant community with me, to see a bigger picture, not just a ministry unto itself, but how we're connected with other churches and other ministries, and that really became important to me. To know that being a part of the CB Church was more than just being a church out in the middle of nowhere, but that brothers and sisters all around, that we're connected, and we need to lean on one another in those times. I feel a great deal of support. I'm surrounded by a great group of men that are in ministry, and we're sharing ministry together. Guys that over the years that have been a part of my life in one way or another, but now I can see why they were part of my life in those small ways before, because now they're part of my life in big ways today. I think guys like D. Duke, who is a continual source of encouragement. I've known D for quite some time, but now to be able to serve right next door to him has been great. Having Steve Ellingbo again back in my life, just being around the corner at Tadmor, it's all of these connections that I've had, they've lasted all of this time. There's never been a point where I had to reintroduce myself. It's always been part of the family. Christ used the CB Church used Conservative Baptist, used Tadmor in my life in such incredible ways. And even in moments where I thought maybe I'm doing ministry on my own, he would quickly remind me that not only am I not doing it alone because he walks with me, but he says, I put a group of guys, I put a group of churches, I put a group of people around you on purpose. And I love looking back and seeing the influence that those guys have had in my lives. And some of them have been very, very direct, and some of them, I'm not even sure until up to maybe seeing this video they've even known that they had an impact. But I can say that I'm blessed. I love the fact that I can count these guys as not just friends and mentors, but family.
Baptize my mind for these seeds to give birth to life.